I modeled Think after centers that I had worked at previously because it's through that experience that I realized what works in a center and what doesn't work in a center. Families should have the option of services that are available outside. My standard was always, if I had a child who needed support, would I be happy bringing them to Think? And that is my guiding value.
Here at Think we have ABA therapy, speech and language therapy, occupational therapy. There are three main therapies that we implement here.
I think, being able to communicate and being able to connect with people has a direct impact on your mental health and your happiness. And so if through teaching we can get children connected to each other, to their families, to their communities, then I think that that's what motivates us to target these skills.
For each of the children that come to Think, we would start off by doing an assessment. From there, the assessment would guide our plan, what our plan will be for that child. Each child's therapist team are then trained in the plan so that they know what the motivation the child is interested in, what their teaching strategies, what prompt levels they need, how to implement the plan the most effective way possible for that particular child.
We follow teaching procedures and behavior plans based on the science of applied behavior analysis. So we take those big goals and we break them down into their individual units, doing a proper analysis of what those units might be and how they might relate developmentally to that particular child. And then we teach until we can shape the small steps into the larger goal and make sure that the child is using those skills and it has made an impact on their life.
So the benefit of being able to do one-to-one teaching and being able to individualize the program for that child means that their rate of acquisition is far superior than they would get in other settings, possibly, given that it's individualized.
My main role is to develop programs, individual-based programs for each child, to train the therapists to implement those programs as designed with their specific children on their team, and to continue to follow up to add to those programs and to ensure the programs are running as designed, materials are present, and to give feedback and training for all the therapists.
So everything is data-driven here, and the reason it's data-driven because it helps inform us of what the best decision to make for that individual child is. And one of the big things we want to make sure happens is that our children want to learn, because they'll be learning for the rest of their lives. We need to make sure that we establish a good relationship with learning skills.
We have the pleasure of providing consultation services to families in and outside of Bahrain. Families benefit, they enjoy the remote supervision, which is supplemented from time to time, obviously, with visits to the country to make sure that we have maximum impact in terms of the development of the program and the progression of the targets, and the child is really benefiting.
There's different goals for different children, and there's different achievements. One of the milestones is that kid says "mama" for the first time. So a good day for us is the small achievements that the kids make. Even though in the grand scheme of things they may be considered small, but for us they're huge accomplishments and they're huge celebrations.
Locally, we have a designated outreach supervisor here at Think, and her role is to connect with families who perhaps have their own therapists, and that person will make contact with the family once a week, but will also provide training and provide a program and oversee, the progress of that program in the home or school setting.
So basically, the outreach program, we go into the home and we observe the children, their natural environment. It really depends on the child, and that's what we basically focus on, is making sure it's very individualized for each child.
We started therapy with Inji, and then thinking opened up. The boys started to come here for therapy, and they started to improve. They started to look at us, they started to imitate things, and slowly we went ahead with home therapy. That's where the people from Think Inc., they started to come and started to give us advice, and they are improving and moving ahead. And we do feel that with this help and supervision, we should be able to go ahead in our lives. And inshallah, our lives will be much more easier and livable.
Natural environment teaching would be that we would create situations for the child to learn skills. So we have a number of different programs for different children depending on their needs. One of the programs that we would do is that our children learn to go to the doctor. And our therapists dress up as a doctor here in the centre. We practice listening to their chest, getting to breathe in and breathe out. The ultimate goal is that they will go to their family physician and be able to have a full checkup, and that they won't have behaviours surrounding that, which in the past they have had.
We've had a lovely experience with thinking so far. Our daughter came in when she was about 2.5. She's been with thinking for 2.5 years. We did an intense ABA therapy and she's blossomed as a child. So since she's received therapy, she's really improved and she's going to one of the best British curriculum schools on the island. And we're very happy with her progress. The founder who actually came to us and told us, NG, that we don't require therapy anymore. And that was the most, it was the greatest day of our life. It was just the best experience that we ever had, yeah.
Of all the clinics that I've worked in, Think Inc. is the most organized and the most developed in terms of supervision and quality of care.
I really want to make a difference in the lives of the families, and I want to make sure that we are doing the best that we can. I mean, that is my goal. That is the goal I would hope that as a centre we're trying to fulfil every day, that no matter whether they go into a mainstream school placement or whether they go to a different part of the world or they move on to a different setting, that we can say that we have made a difference. In your time here, I think we have made a difference in your life.
The changes that have the most social impact or that have the most real life impact are the ones that motivate me to keep doing this, because ultimately that's where we want to see our kids thrive, is in their real world and in their real life.